Good morning, guys. Good morning, everyone. All right, just make sure everything's working correctly. Don't know how much I like that this morning. Still just kind of getting everything set up, guys, so just give me a minute. It's crazy that we sold off so much last night. Sorry. Man, we pushed all the way back to the 800s after selling off quite a bit. I think we sold off about 100 points from last night highs. Yesterday, we were pretty much at the top of the previous day high. And today's high is going to be right there at the 45s, up to 400s. There's still a lot of room to the upside that we can run today. We do have quite a bit of 3-star news this morning, so the market could be choppy leading into that news. So just be aware of that. We can pull that up real quick if you just want to see it. So, like I said, sorry about the white screen. That thing is bright. So just go to investing.com. Select tools, select economic calendar. Stroll down. It looks like Europe had some news at 5 o'clock this morning. They had their CPI and core CPI numbers. We have the ADP non-farm payroll, which that's usually not a really big market mover, not like regular non-farm payroll that we get usually on Fridays. We do have manufacturing PMI numbers this morning and job openings at 10 o'clock this morning. So just kind of keep that in the back of your head. That way, if you're in a trade around that 10 o'clock hour, you either want to try to take some profit or at least protect your profits if you are in the green, because it could just wick against you. Man, so far, the last 2 trading sessions in the Tokyo have been, man, I feel like I've been on the struggle bus trading trade day. That's similar to take profit trader. It's a little bit more upfront. So, I mean, if you're good at passing accounts, trade day or take profit trader, all that's good for you. But if you're not very good at passing accounts, I would just stick to the cheaper ones like Bullanox. Bullanox costs more on the back end, but it's cheap up front if you're fairly new to trading. Lucifer, I haven't really started using those guys yet. I have just started looking into those guys. I still got 7 or 8 funded accounts with Apex and Bulanox, so I'm currently working on those at the moment. And I haven't bought any more evals. So we're pretty much trading our 7 funded accounts. But I know trade days similar to like trading Take Profit Trader. I would have to look more into Lucifs. No, the only people that I make money from is either Apex or Bulanox, not none of the others. And it's not mad money. I still work for a living like most people. I still make money off of another business. I just do this kind of on the side and part-time and just kind of streaming my journey. I'm probably more like the rest of you guys than I am like a lot of the other streamers you see online. So, I mean, I don't usually come online to like try to teach people how to trade. I just more or less show people what I do, like what I'm doing trading. And if you can take something from that, that'd be great. If not, just pick and choose what works for yourself. I mean, I feel like that's almost what trading has to be, because it's so hard to copy people trading. It's tough, especially like, and the reason why it makes it tough, like when you're watching people trade, is because of that delay. There's that like 5 or 6, 7 second delay, and that's a lifetime in the NASDAQ. Especially during those really high volatility hours. No, see, I've never tried to think or swim. I know there's quite a few people that do use that. I've never used it. I've only ever used 2 prop firms, and that's Trade-of-8 and, or actually 3. I'm sorry, 3. Trade-of-8, that's where I started out on. And right now I've been using Ninja for about 1.5 years, maybe 2 years. And I also use Quantower. Quantower's charts look the nicest to me. They're just new to me, so I'm not comfortable trading. Trading is one of those things, man. Once you get used to a set of charts, it's so hard to jump charts. It's so hard to, if you've been trading on that think or swim, it's like night and day to try to go somewhere else and do the same thing and feel comfortable. That's the issue I have with Quantower here. I struggle. I don't feel very comfortable with it. But I do like their charts. I feel like they have nice charts, though. They look super, super clean. Yeah, see, I've heard of people using the options. See, I've never done that either. I've just sold the calls. Like where you buy 100 shares and just put up the shares as collateral and just make money off of the fees. That's about the only type of option trading I ever done. And I think that was on Robinhood. Oh, you're saying they have bots that do it for you? I feel like somebody else said that last night. I don't know if that was you that said that, or somebody else had said something about the bots. Now, when you say bots, you mean you're talking about something that's taking the trade for you, right? Okay, so you get the signals from the bots. Okay. Yeah, see, that's all new to me either. I've never heard of people getting signals from bots. Yeah, that's definitely different. What's up, MS? How are you doing today? No, we're not in a position now. I'm not even sure what the first 30 minutes is going to be like because of the news play that we have coming up. Plus, there's no stop loss or do more research about the pocket option. Okay. I've heard of other people talk about the options, but I haven't really ever looked into it. Man, are we going to get the play out the gate? All right, so what we want to see here, either down or up, we want to see this break to the outside. Then we want to see it pull back into this range. So you want to hit about 50% of this range after it breaks to the outside. See, I've never done Forex either. No, MS, we're not in any kind of position at the moment. I try not to join any kind of positions like right before the market opens. I think that's just asking for it. No, we're going to be patient. Hopefully within the first 5 or 10 minutes, we can get us a trade. So what it is, if this moves to the downside, you would hope that this would stay our high. Then you'd want to see us push down, then pull back into this range. And that's probably how we'll enter our trade. Okay. I've never heard of Mets Trader 5 either. That's new to me also. Which, like I said, I know very little about Forex. I've only ever heard of it. Okay, MetaTrader. Okay. I know I'm kind of worried what the day's going to be like because we had such a good day yesterday. I don't know. Sometimes those back-to-back good days of tradings can be kind of iffy sometimes. I got to say at my age, I don't really have a favorite car. I just like having a car that just runs, man. My wife drives a nice car, but me, I just drive like a Chevrolet 1500. And a Jeep Liberty that I haul my dogs around in, which it's kind of like I call my dog car. Yeah, maybe back in my younger days, I like the nicer cars, but now, like I said, I'm just happy just having the Chevy pickup truck to, if I got to haul my trailer around because I like to go four-wheeler riding. Yep, the Flintstones. I ain't that old. It's what, 10 years old. And I don't drive a lot either. You got a McLaren? Nice. I'm getting a McLaren. Oh goodness. No, I think if I, made that much money to buy those nice cars, I think I'd rather have money sit to the side and work less in life. I think I value that more than anything, to have the freedom just to do what you want to do. All right, so we got about 2 minutes before the market opens. So far, this is a fairly kind of ugly looking setup. This is not looking that great here. So like I said, the only plan right now is you want to kind of make a nice clean push up, then a push back into this zone. We'll just have to see how it pans out. We may have to just sit around and wait a little bit till we make... No, I don't know when I'm dying. I'm hoping to at least make it into my 70s. I'm 48 now, so hopefully we can at least make it into the 70s. Man. Do the Amazon affiliate program. Yeah, I've heard of some people doing that. I don't know anybody. I'm not saying there's not successful people. I don't know anybody personally that does it. I know there's people out there doing those Amazon affiliate programs or the business programs. All right, guys, we got less than a minute to go before the market open. So, like I said, we do have 10 o'clock news this morning, so you want to be aware of that. You do not want to jump into an entry and get caught in news or into a lot of drawdowns. So just be aware of that. So hopefully your trade's kind of an in and out. Yeah, man. Thanks. Good luck today if you're trading. All right, 10 seconds left. See. Yeah, so this price action is horrible this morning, guys. It's already kind of starting out chopping. That could just be a manipulation leg. I don't know. We might end up just missing this one. I just don't like the way it looks. I hate taking. I want to say this could be a possible manipulation leg here, like where it kind of manipulates out the front and goes out the back. But it's just so much wick and not enough body. And I don't like that this one's kind of leading up into the 500. So might not get an entry today. I mean, we got the pullback. You got the 80% pullback. But like I said, I just wasn't a fan of it because of this big stick. A lot of times, if it breaks this 50%, it'll go. But the only worst part of it, it's up into the whole number. Yeah, so it did work, but we just didn't take it. Uh, uh, it has its good days and bad days. We've been a lot more patient lately. This right here is usually a kind of a setup we take. It's so the only thing that kind of I didn't like the fact that this whole candle was a wick. And it was just one fluence move. It wasn't like multiple candles for us to push back into this area. So I'm hoping that this will just push up some. Then it can just work its way back down in here. See, the ES is trying to push down. So we'll just kind of be patient and wait and see what happens. It's still fairly early. It's only 5 minutes in. Looking for a pullback to the 700s or even the 660s. Whew, that'd be a nice big pullback. Yeah, that was tough. That was a tough entry here, guys. I know it's kind of like who's going to bring down who. The ES was trying to push down, so. So we're pretty much back at the previous day high up here at the 338 or 838s and 839s. Yeah, no hurries this morning, guys. Okay, that was the previous day close. This indicator right here will usually, not an indicator, but like the previous day close will almost pay you 10 points every time, especially if you can catch it after the 10 o'clock hour. I don't usually recommend it before the 10 o'clock hour because the volume is so high in the chart. So it's usually a little bit more consistent when the market's just moving at just a normal pace instead of the knife fall or the bulling train just going through all the levels. This is pretty much where we were consolidating pretty much mostly last night. For anybody that was trading Tokyo session, this is the range that we were just stuck in last night. Woo. What's up, So? How are you doing? We are trading on Ninja charts. It doesn't look like we're going to get the pullback anytime soon. There's sometimes where it takes 20, 30 minutes for us to even get back into that area. Is there anybody in a position right now? Is everybody just still sitting on the sidelines? No, Super. I'm sorry I didn't see your message. No, I don't really have a bias today. So we just hit that previous day high. Now, I did short the previous day high yesterday, and it paid like 60 points, even though I only took 10, but it paid quite a bit. Oh, nice. I just couldn't pull the trigger. I wanted to when this wick pulled back into this 15-minute range, but man, that body of that 5-minute candle just looks so bad. And I've gotten burned on some of those wick candles before, so they just make me nervous whenever you taking trades into an all wick candle. All right, we're about to break that high here. So 23. $705. This chart off to the side here, these are the ES charts. For some reason, my chat keeps disappearing, guys. So sorry if I don't see your message. I don't know where my chat went to. What the crap? Oh, here it is. Yeah, we called a similar trade to that yesterday, but like I said, today we just couldn't pull the trigger. Two, three, four. What's up, trader? How are you doing? Mm. We'll see what kind of resistance we're going to get up here. A lot of times, if you break back below the close here, you could sell back down. So that's how we got a trade yesterday, shorting the previous day high. I'm doing good, trader. How about yourself? We're just kind of being patient and waiting to see if we get some kind of pullback. Kind of approaching the 7,000 mark here on the ES. We are getting a nice move up. This would be a perfect, nice little leg here if we can get the nice little leg pullback here. The only thing that can mess it up is that 10 o'clock news. So for our funded accounts, whatever we decide to do with our funded, it's going to be one trade only. So we're going to be trading 1, 2, 3, 4, at least 4 funded accounts. And we're going to be copy trading. For the NQ, I don't like it unless it would have to pull all the way back into this area for a possible long. Come on, a little bit more. What's up, Ah? How are you doing? So far, guys, no setup. This was a possible one here where we got the pullback into the that range, but the only thing is it was like one big 5-minute candle, so it was not very clean, so we did not take it. Because you got to push up to about the, 800 or so, then it pulled all the way back within one 5-minute swoop. Like I said, the charts on the left here are the ES charts. Yeah, there's a lot of news at 10. That's why we're trying to be patient too. We don't want to get trapped in a 10 o'clock news play. ES is making a... The ES and the NASDAQ's been off a little bit. I mean, we're getting some decent pullbacks on the ES, but the NASDAQ has just been a lot stronger today. So, guys, just be aware in 8 more minutes, we have a lot of 3-star news. So just be aware that if you enter a trade there within 5 minutes, protect your profits or be careful of slippage. There's usually slippage. It's usually pretty bad during the news plays because you'll get these big wicks and it just won't fill your order. And you're thinking you're risking like $100. The next thing you know, you lose like $300 or $400 because of slippage. Hello, how are you doing today? What's up, fish lips? Dude, where did you find 450 points? What? What? That is just insane, dude. Come on. That's insane. I'd be done for the day with that many points. I'm just trying to get like a 30-point move or maybe a 5-point move on the ES over here. Don't have to worry about it. Post in Discord. I'll have to look in there. That's pretty good. No, we don't trade crypto. Oh, big evals. No, I've never. Can you even trade a crypto like on prop firms? You might be able to. I'm just not sure. No. I'd imagine the crypto market's pretty highly volatility as far as the Bitcoin and stuff goes. I bet you got some insane movements on that stuff. I'd probably get my face ripped off. That thing is moving so fast. So we could not break back below the previous day high here. So was definitely hoping that we might get a pullback here. I'm not sure. This might be the actual pullback here. So this might have actually been the move. Like I said, that was the one that I just did not feel comfortable taking whenever it was setting up. Hopefully the news doesn't mess up the charts. And usually what I mean by messing them up, that means you get like a big boner candle up to the upside and the rest of the market's kind of still left in whatever position that it was setting up. That's the worst. It's usually very hard to trade after that happens. All you can do is just kind of sit here and just wait for it to come back down to reality and get back into the groove. I'm not sure what kind of movement today offers as far as the news offers. I know it's red folder news or 3-star news. I'm just not sure what kind of movement that we're expected out of it. Like, I know when we have like Nvidia earnings or Google earnings or the non-farm payroll or the Fed's interest rate decision, those, you can almost expect a 100-point move. With these, I'm not sure. Good morning, Solo. How are you doing today? Right now, we're just kind of consolidating sideways on the ES here. I'm actually hoping the news doesn't do anything, just like maybe like a few little points here or there, but nothing to really mess up the market. Easy. All right, less than 3 minutes to go. So just be aware of that if you're in a trade right now. If you're in like multiple contracts, maybe even take some of your profit just in case you get whipped with a wick or something. Maybe after 10 o'clock, the market will clean up a little bit and we'll be able to find a trade today. No. All the cheap accounts. I don't know about no YOLOing over there, Solo. I don't really do that a lot. You're the one that's good at the full porting. I'm not that good at full porting. I'll just keep my small, slow pace. But I guess if you're good at, if you kind of have an idea where the market's going to go, I don't recommend doing that on a funded account. You know, if you want to attempt that like on an eval or something's different. But as far as a funded, that's a lot of money to throw out there on the table. All right, guys, less than 1 minute to go. Like I said, protect your accounts, or if you plan on YOLOing. I don't know. It looks like we're building a little bull flag here on the ES. $30 seconds. We have like 2 or 3 3-star news numbers releasing. There's quite a few. Excuse me. Man, I just don't feel very motivated today. Like I said, I almost feel like I hope it's a dud. But right now, usually a lot of times whenever we have this big move and we start printing sideways, most of the time we're going to probably be moving up. I hope not. Like I said, I'm anticipating a pullback. That's what I want to see. Man, the ES had the better of the pullback. I'll just get my order ready just in case. We're wanting to get down in this area here. Man, the ES is already about to break the bottom down there. Might not, well. Where's the... Mm. It pretty much ripped hard off the 60. We needed to see it back down in here. Like I said, I wasn't going to take it unless it got back into our zone. And this is our zone here. This zone that we have marked out. Ooh, big rip back up, guys. All right, man, that was kind of ugly. Man, all the way back above the previous day high at the 39, 38s. You can see the ES got there, but it wicked out the backside. But usually we don't take that on the ES. We only take that on the NASDAQ. Ugh. Goodness. That was the 50% down that we just pulled back and hit solo. Whew. Dude, fish lips killing it today, guys. Oh shoot, I almost left my order on there. Just forgot about my order down there. Holy crap. What a bummer this morning, guys. I feel like this was probably the trade setup here this morning, but like I said, it was very ugly price action, and it was so hard to take that with that pullback into this area. I thought maybe we would get one more chance for this to pull back down to the 70% or back into discount where you could buy it inside of this 15-minute range, but we did not get it. And I'm being super careful, guys, because we're copy trading 4 funded accounts. So if we just don't get the setup, we just don't take it. I was hoping the ES would give us a little bit deeper pullback. We had a hard time moving higher here yesterday. Like this is where we were kind of stuck at last night during the overnight session when we started out. I want to say my first short was at 33 last night. Man, did we leave a lot on the table. Then I think I got short again at like 8, not 8 o'clock, but like the level 814, 813, and we got stopped out on that one. Just be careful. Don't get trapped because it's had a hard time moving through these 80 levels. I haven't really looked to the left here to see what's holding us up over here. Yeah, so it'll probably take a little bit to get through all this mess here. Could get some nice rejection up there. There's a lot in there, so it's going to take a lot to get through that. What's up, guys? How are you doing today? What's up, Mr. Sam? What's up, Fed? Or Federzek? Sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. So, guys, if you're in a long, it's probably going to be a lot of back and forth as we move up there. If you kind of look to the left, you can see there's a lot of consolidation in this area here. So, just so you're aware, as you can see, that's where we're pretty much hitting off the top of, is the top of this range. Could get a nice little 900 pullback here, fish lips. Man, that'd be almost a perfect little 900 pullback. All that consolidation up there, man. Or a nice little 90 rejection. Hopefully it's not one of these days where you just get that one big move in the morning and the rest of the morning is just chopping sideways, just trying to chop through this stuff. Yeah, I like that 900 short. I may even attempt that with you. Look for like a 10-point trade or something. I may bump it up to like 5 micros and just look for like a quick 10-point trade. So if you're in a long, guys, remember there's a lot of consolidation between here and the 900s. It would take quite a bit of volume to push us through that. Dude, the ES is trying to push down where the NASDAQ's trying to go up. So you got to be careful whenever the ES and NASDAQ are not on the same page. So like I said, the ES and NASDAQ are not on the same page, guys. So usually whenever both the markets are doing two opposite things, it usually will cause one of the markets to sit there and chop. And right now that's kind of what the NASDAQ is doing, just kind of chopping sideways, as hopefully the ES can eventually bring the NASDAQ back down. So we just got to see who's going to win the battle here. All right, so it looks like the NASDAQ or ES is bringing down the NAS finally. Waiting to see if the ES is going to sweep the 70s here. Man, the ES is just dumping. Come on, nasty NAS, catch up. Man. Didn't quite get down there yet. Just trying to make sure I'm on the right accounts. Since it's not a very clean looking setup, I don't know if we'll take this. Even we'll have to. At least I don't know if I'll copy trade. Maybe we'll just do one account instead of copy trading if we do pull back into that zone, because I feel like we done missed that golden opportunity to grab this trade with the trading 4 fundeds. We're going to probably risk about $100 here if we end up taking this entry down here. I got to make sure my copy trader's off. We don't want to make that mistake. Dude, the NASDAQ is not selling off. Like, usually if the ES sells off more than 10, 20 points, man, usually you get a fairly decent move on the nasty girl. But, man, this thing is holding up. Come on. Just needed a few more points here. Sorry, guys, if I missed your message. Was trying to just kind of focus on the charts here for a moment because I don't want to put a resting order here. Here's where I would just bring my order from the backside and place it down. And this way I can kind of get an idea where my stop is going to be. And I know how much I'm going to be risking. So that's why I usually do trades like that instead of just putting resting orders. Oh, I see what happened. It pretty much hit all of that liquidity right there. I think it's still going to take more of a bigger pullback or some more consolidation down to the downside for the NQ to get through this mess up here. Because like I said, if you look to the left, I mean, there is so much resistance to the left there. So I think it's going to take a lot. Did anybody catch the short to the downside? What time is it? Already 10:30. Like I said, we're kind of looking for a push down into this area here and see if we can get some kind of reaction. If you look to the left on this here, you see there's a lot of consolidation in this area right here. You can see this first wick already kind of bounced off the top of the first one. So thank you guys for the likes and follows today. Hopefully everybody's having an okay trading session. We haven't taken any trades yet today. We had that one pullback, but it happened so quick on a nasty 5-minute candle that it did not offer an entry. And like I said, I'm trading 3 to 4 funded accounts at once. And so we're usually very careful with our entry. least when it comes to our fundeds. Evals, we can be a little bit more risky because they're not that big of a deal. But with my fundeds, usually we're a little bit more careful. Ooh. Fish Lips, what's the largest account that you're trading with? Are you trading with the 250Ks or mostly yours the 50 to 100? Like I said, kind of looking for this area to get kind of swept. I'm actually surprised how well the NQ is holding up with the NASDAQ selling off 10 to 15 points. A lot of times, if you get a 10, 15 point sell off with the EQ or ES, you'll get like 30, 40, 50 points of sell off from the NQ. I'm not sure if Bulinox is going to have another sale today. I know a lot of people, even myself, are not a big fan of the 45% off with their accounts because that's so pricey. Nope. They still haven't started it. Is there anybody here in the lobby that does trade crypto? Andy, is that what you trade is pretty much crypto? Nah. I mean, I feel like you can get a pullback here, but man, I just don't know how far this thing's going to pull back. If it's going to be one of these things where it just kind of sweeps into the middle of this gap area, then just sell back off. $450 to $875. Yeah, that thing's on the struggle bus trying to get through that, Fish Lips. I think it's going to take a lot to get through those 70s, that 60 up there to the 900s, or those 860s and 900s. That stuff is just going to be a pain to get through. I think it's going to take multiple tips. This is like the worst trading day, guys, where you get that one big move out the gate, then the rest of the day is just consolidation sideways. There's not really a lot you can do here but watch. Unless you're good at playing the range, which some people are. So basically what they do is just put a box around the range here and just trade the highs and lows of the range. What's up, Killer DDDO? I know we're definitely not on the same page as far as the ES and NASDAQ go right now, man. We're definitely in two different directions. The ES is trying to push back down again. Maybe if ES can get one more push, maybe down into the 70s, then pop up there, then head back to the top side. Then maybe that'll give the volume we need to get through the 900 up to the 900s here. Are you in a position right now, Fish Lips, or are you just sitting on the sidelines waiting for the 900 to get hit? Oh, goodness. Oh, well, sometimes a no trade's a good trade, guys. See if the ES is going to get stuck here. Man, you would think they would get a nice little bounce here. Off those 800s. We're still watching the ES too, guys. I was kind of wondering how much of a pullback we would get up on this ES leg because we're already at the 50% of the pullback or middle ways. So that kind of looks like your 90 hit right there. There's still a lot of time on that 5-minute candle, so got to be careful with that. So my stop loss will go up here at the top of this wick. Actually, I'm going to break even fairly fast. Ah, shit. We'll give it a little bit to pull back. If it don't start going in a minute, we'll close this. Don't want it to rip back up against us. Yeah, like that. Okay. We were looking for a pullback. Maybe we get to the 75. The only thing that has me worried is how much time we got left on this freaking 5-minute candle. We're just looking for like a quick 10 points. Because a lot of times you can anticipate like a 75 pullback here. Like if you hit the whole number, you pull back to the previous whole number. There's so much time left on this damn 5-minute candle. All right, we'll just risk 5 points. How about that? All right, good deal. Woo. Holy shit. Don't know what that was. Oh. Oh my God. Whoa. Somebody just got wrecked. Oh my goodness. That was insane. Oh. Let me flatten that real quick. That's how somebody just got wrecked, fish lips. Oh my goodness. Oh man. We got 256 out of that on a funded account, dude. I was looking for 200. That's why I was being careful, because I was in 10 micros on my funded. I wasn't expecting that, but somebody just got wrecked. If you were long, you got wrecked. Man, Trump must have said like China or something. Did Powell or Trump say something? Holy goodness. Something was brought up for us to do a 100-point drop. Oh my goodness. Nice. I wasn't sure if we... So guys, the reason why I was going to break even real quick, I was playing that. It's hard to tell people what you're doing when you're trading like that, because what it is, I'm just looking for reactions off of the whole number. I mean, you still could have put a resting order in there if you like to put resting orders. I don't like to put resting orders because I don't like to get caught in garbage like this. So this is why I like to do backdoor. I call it backdoor, whatever you want to call it. I just say I like to come in from the back door and place my order. And the reason I do that is because I'm looking to see how far this wick pushes up, because this is where most of the time I want my stop loss to be. And this way I kind of have an idea of how much I'm going to be risking when I take the trade. Because if you jump, if you put a resting order, you don't know if this thing's going to go through 20, 30 points before it comes back. And you're just at the mercy of it. So this is why if you see me put an order here or here, that means I'm getting ready to probably bring it up and wait to see what kind of reaction we get off of that. I was not expecting, I didn't think we were going to get this kind of reaction. I was looking for the normal whole number to whole number. So Fish Lips, this other guy in my lobby, that's what he trades. He trades whole number to whole number. So what he was doing, we push up to the 900s, which he does resting orders, I think. He would have had a resting order sitting at 900, and then he would have been looking for a 75 pullback. Same thing. You push up to the 25, you look for a 900 pullback. You push up to the 50, you either look for a 900 pullback or a 25 pullback. For anybody that likes to trade whole numbers. And to me, I always find between 90 and this 10 to be the hardest levels to trade. Just because of the reaction. You always get reaction going up and coming down in the 90 drama. Look, 90 drama here, 900 drama here. So I thought maybe we would get the 110 push here. I thought a lot of times you'll get that 110 push and then you get a pullback to the 90. So I used to enter evals like this. Look, I'd wait for it to hit the 10. I would wait for it to pull back into the 900s. And once it popped back to the 90, and once it popped whatever whole number you're at, I would look for a long and take up look for like a 20 or 25 point move. But yeah, that was a pretty crappy candle if you were in long, like if you were holding your long. I mean, I thought we were done with news play, but that was almost like a news play candle. Oh yeah, Christy, that right there, that is an account wrecker there, Christy. That's one of those accounts that you're in some grind and price action. The next day you get like a 100-point boner candle to the downside. I was just lucky enough to be on the right side of the boner candle. I mean, that's all luck. That's all that is. There is no skill in the lucky boner candle to the opposite side. The only thing that sucked is my before that candle popped off like that, I only had one micro left. So I think I made an extra $50 off of that push down. Nice. Well, at least we got one funded trade in today. We didn't get all the other fundeds. We had an opportunity to jump in here, but like I said, I just did not like this one candle price action here. Now, if we would have got one candle to print here, then this candle pull back, maybe. But when this candle was a complete stick, it was very hard to do that. Woo, we needed some luck, guys. That was all luck. I don't know if anybody know what happens. No, I could probably send you to some more wealthier YouTubers. This is the broke side of YouTube over here. All right, good deal. I'm glad we got a lucky trade in. Fish Lips, you know how bad that would have sucked if that thing went the other direction when I was in 10 freaking micros? What's up, Lure? All right, so we may look for an eval trade in a minute if something pops with an eval trade. But I don't think we'll get another funded trade. I feel like that was my luck of the day. I don't think I have any more luck than that one move there. And like I said, it was all luck. I did not expect that. The only thing I was looking for was a 10-point move. So the strategy here when taking the 90 reversal. So what you're looking for, you're not looking for this. What you're looking for is a pullback into the 70s between 80 and 75. 75 is usually the go-to pullback. Dude, Fish Lip's killing it over there, man. Whew. Dude, the whole numbers are being so good for you. I'm surprised they haven't fixed those yet. like, man, this guy's making too much. We need to change the algorithm so this shit doesn't be bouncing at the whole numbers. Oh my goodness. All right, so let's see if we get that 110 hit here with this push up. So we've already got the 90. We already got the 100. You want to see if we get that 10 hit with a push back to the 90. Christy, did you take any trades today on the fundeds? Price action was tough today, Christy. This is one of these days where you get that one big move in the morning, and the rest of the day, morning's just garbage all the way till lunchtime. So we just turned into some garbage price action. But we already know that. If you look to the left over here, this is why we talked about that a little bit. If you look to the left, I mean, you see all of this consolidation in this area. I mean, this looks like a whole day of consolidation. There's just no way we're going to get through the 900s that quick. Oh, come on. Wow, look at the 1 minute candle. Wow, this is a big old candle. This big old candle's holding. didn't quite get that 90 pullback on that one. I just wasn't sure. Usually this is a decent trade where you can look for 10 points, but there's so much consolidation in that area that it makes me nervous trying to grab that. It is just not clean to the left. Let's see if we get some reaction at the 10 here. I mean, I don't see how we don't get reaction at the 10. Usually we always do. All right, there's your 10 reaction. Like I said, this is why I say this is the hardest area to take trades. Especially funded accounts, just because of the reaction you get off of the 90, the whole number, and the 10. You got to figure out your trading. Oh, nice. Yeah, I picked up one more too. That's what we just switched over here to a eval. So I figure I got lucky for my funded today, and we're gonna leave with that. We were lucky. All luck for that extra $50. That thing could have easily went in the opposite direction and just wrecked our day. All right, so now we're just kind of stuck in this range. So I haven't traded Power Hour in the evening. I've been trading Tokyo, but I've actually I was break even Monday night. Then last night we were about $60 in negative on my Prodeus account. I mean, overall, we're still up pretty good on it. But, oh yeah, so this is the one that we were red on last night. So we were like $48 in the red. It took, basically, we had about $20 in profit that we lost. So we're still up $400. But it was a red night on the evals. Not a biggie, though. Not a biggie. That's why you just take your small loss and move on to the next day. This other account, we're pretty good. We're up 868 on that one, so we still have a lot of room for, like, as long as I stay consistent, and if I take my small losses, move on to the next day. We have a Nigeria prince here. Oh yeah, I remember those like little things back in the day. I'm not saying this guy's that, but like, you remember those things in the day, like we're trying to get money out of your country, and if you pay the taxes, we'll give you a big fee for helping. Or they do the same ones too. If you inherited a bunch of money, they say, we just need you to pay the fees to get your inheritance. Some of those old crazy scams that people used to do back in the day. Hell, they probably still do them. I'm still amazed that people get tricked on that stuff as long as that stuff has been around. So, my rule of thumb is, if you're not in my contacts, I don't answer my phone. That's my rule of thumb with my cell phone. If you're not in my contacts, and you're like, if I see a number pop up and if it's not your name, I don't answer the phone. We just send that baby straight to voicemail, then hit block. That's how I usually do anybody that calls my cell phone. I think sometimes I've even blocked, like, by accident, some like local companies that I needed them to call me like I've ordered a part, and they call me and let me know it's here, and I don't answer it, but I ended up blocking their number by accident. Because, back in the day, usually those spam calls, it'll be like crazy numbers. But lately, they've been able to do it where they can have your looks like a local number calling you. So these days, you don't know if it's legit or what. Now we're stuck again, guys. Did anybody ever see what kind of news that we had here at 1040? Let's see. What happened? Let's see. Nothing really popped up. I thought maybe if I just put in like what kind of news event happened to make the market move 100 points like that. I may try a short also on the ES up here, but I may do it just on the whatchamacallit, the eval. Christy, you working today or are you hanging out at home? Sounds good, Fish Lips. Have a good evening. Good luck at the job interview, or your not a job interview, but your meeting at work. New job open data. You was working if you call it work. Man, what are the ES? The ES got, that's what the ES, man, that's dirty. I was waiting for that 75, 76 area to get hit on the freaking ES, and that thing wicked all the way down there and almost touched the dip. That was dirty. Come on. I even had an order sitting there. I was waiting to drag it down because I thought we would pop this area here and look for a long. So far, Christy, we've had a pretty good funded week so far. I want to say we're up between all the accounts close to, I think, $800 just over the last few days. Because I didn't get to trade Monday. Because I had to take Aspen to the vet. But the last 2 days, man, we've been killing it on the fundeds. I've been trying really hard to put the whole like funded emotions to the side and not even think about it and just think of them babies as evals without being stupid with them. But, just taking trades that make sense. All right, so here's the little consolidation breakout here. So it didn't really offer an opportunity to trade here. I mean, we're pretty much way up here in premium on this leg pullback up here. If you go from the high to the low, back up to the 70-80%. And as soon as if this breaks up here, which I hope it does, I want to see it push up into the 700s here. How many total sales have you got off of a TikTok, Christy? I mean, you don't have to say like money wise, but how many like total sales have you gotten making those TikTok affiliate commercials? I don't know if you were still here, Christy. All right, so if we find an entry in a minute, it's going to be completely eval, guys. We're done. We're done looking for any more funded trades today. We pretty much missed our funded trade setup this morning. And that's because of that 5-minute candle was pretty ugly this morning. So this was that 5-minute kind of like, this is the first 5-minute candle, and it was this 5-minute candle that was the entry. The problem is it was just like it pushed up and it was just one big stick. And I hate taking trades off of candles where it's just a complete stick. Even though it did pull all the way back up, but still, when it was happening in the moment, I mean, you can hindsight it to death, but in the moment, it just did not look pretty. Oh, your first approval sample. I think that's about the only way people can make money on TikTok now is selling stuff because I've been seeing a lot of like, which I've never been, that's never affected me because I've never been on that scale. But I guess they've taken a lot of the whatever the money they would pay for the monetization, like, for how much you get paid for views. I guess you have to be monetized to get that. Cheap a-holes. Good old corporate, man. Just somebody's keeping all the profit. Yeah, no doubt. There's just not really anything to do here, guys. We're just kind of watching paint dry. I mean, it's been a super tough day of trading. I mean, the moves have not been clean at all. We got lucky on that one trade earlier looking for 10 points, but everything else has just been just straight, kind of just chopping sideways. No clean moves. We did have this one that we did have a nice little pullback here, but it just wasn't deep enough for me to take the trades on my funded because I would have had to have the trade all the way back into this area. And like I said, I feel like once I missed this here, I wasn't going to get another opportunity today. So we decided not to copy trade our accounts after that happened. When we took that funded trade a while ago, it was just down to one single funded. If we push up here above the 700s on the ES, we may look for a short on the on our eval. Definitely thank you guys for the likes and follows today. We'll give it a few more minutes to see if we can reach that 705. We can't get there in the next 5 or 10 minutes. We'll probably call it a day and come back. How are you doing, Liquidity, how are you doing? I don't know why I said liquidity. Those words are so small up there because I have to look up at the screen that's probably about 6 inches above my head. I don't have the chat like right in front of my face where I can see it. That's why a lot of times you see me look to the sideways and look up. What's up, Lady Trade? How are you doing today? Did anybody get smashed in that sell-off of the 100 points earlier? Did anybody get trapped in that? Like you were long and you got trapped in the 100-point sell-off? I'm pretty sure there'll be some videos coming out somewhere from some streamer or somebody that records herself streaming that got caught in that nasty 100-point sell-off. Like I said, now we're just kind of just sitting here watching paint dry. So yeah, definitely thank you guys for the likes and follows today. Maybe tomorrow will be a little bit better set up, a little bit more cleaner. The reason why I'm so particular with the funded is because we're copy trading across 4 accounts. And so for anybody that copy trades, whenever you got like 4 or 5 accounts attached to your copy trade and you're trading fundeds, it definitely makes the rear end pucker a little bit. Maybe the heartbeat beats a little bit faster because you're like, oh crap, we're in this pretty deep if it goes against you. So I try to make sure that I'm precise and it's the exact setup I'm waiting for my fundeds whenever I'm trading that many fundeds at once. It's not too bad with the one fundeds, but man, whenever it's freaking 4, I don't know if anybody ever watches Methodical Man. He'll be over there. I think he's finally scaled back a little bit, but at one time he was trading like 20 to 30 fundeds at once. I can imagine that makes you pucker up a little bit. Be squeezing from the, like, be nervous. And everybody goes through that. You know, you remember those days when you first start trading, you're like so nervous that your heartbeat's going like 100 miles per hour, especially if you got like real money on the line. Eval's not so much. You might get that a little bit with the funded account just because because it costs $150 to get. And if you got cash, real money in your account. So get that little bit of a nervous thing going on. I think even when I first started, my hands used to even kind of tremble a little bit. Like I'm talking about like the very first couple trades, like first week or 2 is what I'm talking about. Just super nervous, so green, not knowing anything that's going on, just so new to everything. So if you're new and you're going through that, it's okay. It'll get better. Just got to put in the time. So just got to tell yourself that they don't give away free cash easy. So that's kind of what I was expecting here if we did not run this. So if you pull fib on this whole leg here, more likely we just ran like the, what, 80% of that before we run into some resistance. So here you can expect probably a little pullback, but then you can kind of draw it on this next leg and see if, long as we don't run back down here, like get like a 20 or 30% pullback, it should be. I'm looking for a short up here around the 700s. And also, whenever we take funded trades, whenever we're copy trading that many accounts, usually we're starting off with like 2 micros and we're looking for 30 to 40 points. So we're not looking for like quick little 5 and 10 point scalps. We're looking for 20, 30, 40 point moves. And that's even how I got my, whatchamacallit set up. So this is usually the start here. Like I said, we just do 2 micros. Stop loss is questionable because I put it where it just kind of has to be. And the profit we're looking for, usually 30 to 40 points. If I feel like we're going to get more, I'll sell 2 off at the 30 so we can at least lock in $100. And then you can see what you can get with your runner. So that's how we usually set up our ATR strategy. I don't run no like stop loss or anything. Like, you know, you can, for anybody that's new to this, what you can do, like, if you want it to be just complete mechanical and you want the Ninja Trader program to take care of all the trades, all you have to do is just set the order, and then you can either set your stop loss, your profit. Then over here, you can set up a stop loss strategy. So basically you can hit this way you can hit profit triggers. You hit say 10 points, you go to break even, or this is set up with 15 points in break even when I'm looking for 20, or you can have a auto trail, which I don't really use this too much anymore. I've messed with it a few times, but I don't know. I don't really like it very well. I feel like you get stopped out a lot with that. I think that's mainly for if you're doing like really, really quick scalping. Like, you know, if you're going to scalp like 4 or 5 points, going in heavy. Let me take this off so I don't forget about it. Ooh, super dead, guys. Super dead. We'll give it a couple more minutes, then we'll probably call it for today. And we'll be back for, what you want to call it, for Tokyo. Like I said, I have been struggling in Tokyo the last couple nights. I did pretty good. It seemed like all of December, but man, the last 2 nights have been just the struggle. And what really annoys me is I had the right direction pick last night. That's what really annoys me about last night. It was just moving so slow. My actual short last night, the first short was from like, I want to say 8:30. So I was short from 8:30 last night. And I moved my freaking stop loss on 1 and got wigged out. Then I re-entered at 8:13 and I didn't want to hold through drawdown, and so I just took the loss and just kind of called it after that one. So like last night we were like $50 in the red on the eval. But that's the key. If you get negative, just put the account away and come back tomorrow, and then you'll have 0. And I want to say Monday night was a break even night. So, and we didn't have the right direction pick for Monday because it ended up being a long and going up all night. But last night, I was short bias all the way as long as that previous day hold. The previous day high held. So hopefully tonight we'll have a little bit better movement in the market. I want to say for the last 2 nights, it has been just consolidating for like literally almost 2 hours within like a 30-point range. The range has been super tight at night. So this was the range last night if you were trading Tokyo. As you can see, the high was only like 40. So this red line right here, that's your previous day high. So this would have been Monday's high for Monday's day. And you have about the same for Tuesday. They were about almost even. No, it wasn't. This was Tuesday's high. The previous day high was at like 807 or something like that. Because I remember that because we shorted that one. And I just use an indicator that kind of just puts that on there for you. This way you don't have to like look for it. I haven't even really looked at the kill zones today either. I've not even really thinking about that. I think the market was just so crappy this morning. It was so tough. This indicator is just basically called high and low by. So basically all it does is just kind of marks out your highs and lows for the daily in the 50%. This is also one thing that I've been watching for with the daily. So if you break the previous day high, then you can catch that. You can possibly get a nice little sell off when you trade back into the daily candle. Like I think this went down like 60 points. We were looking for 100 points on this trade last night or yesterday, but unfortunately this damn thing came back and stopped me out for 10 points after being up like 60 points. Yesterday's trade was a lot cleaner. So this is usually what we're looking for. So this would have been your 15 minutes right here. This would have been your opening. Let me find it. It has to be right. Yep. So this would have been the opening here, or actually the 8 o'clock opening. Somewhere around in this area. So usually what it is, I mark out the first 15-minute candle of the hour. So that'd be from 9 to 9:15. So we had a low. This is what we were looking for today, but like I said, it just was not very clean. So this would have been your lower candle here. Then you would have pulled your fib on the highest point. Yeah, I think this wasn't there. So right now, this was your highest candle. And so then what you're doing is you're looking for a pullback into that opening 15-minute candle. And then usually I'll pull the Fibonacci on this total move. And then, you're just looking to buy in discount or percentage base, whatever how you would like to read the Fibonacci, whatever works for you. Most of the time, I don't usually mention, I know it's premium discount depending on what side you buy, but a lot of times I'll just mention the percentages because that's just what I'm looking at. It's just so visible that I'm looking for percentages. And I like to get it where it's down in the 60 to 70%. And I think that was about 50% of this total candle. And this is where we got long. So we got long at the 50% of the candle, kind of in the middle as it came back out of this 15 minutes here. And I think we made like $100 on the candle. And that was just trading 2 micros. But this is usually what we're looking for. I went and looked at the day before. See, Monday's paid also, but it was very, very choppy. So you had all this choppy mess, but it was still a winning trade out of that 15 minutes. So this would have been your trade here. So I would have had this box like this. This is your 15 minutes right here. This is hindsight because I don't know the exact but that's how it was. Then you would look for the pullback between, like I said, 70% range or back into discount. And then I would have took a long as it broke back out. But it would have been a lot more choppiness in this area. You can see we chopped around a lot, but it still would have been a winning trade. You would have just had this, just a lot of chop. So it wasn't clean, but it was still there. I feel like the first move was clean, but it seems like after your tag in, it would have been a crappy price action. Let's see. But that is what we're looking for the opening trade in the morning. Not sure if we got anything there. It looks like a complete sell-off. It doesn't look like we did. Yeah, see, that would have been a tough looking sled too, because it looks like we consolidated sideways. We popped the previous day. So this was the one thing that I've gone back and looked ever since I put this indicator on here. If you ever get a big move above the previous day high, man, it seems like whenever you sell back into that previous day high area, man, it just seems like we just dump. So this is what I was looking for yesterday when we took it, just because of this price action here. Same thing, pulled into the previous day candle, which was as the low, but then once we get back out of it, you know, it's kind of like whenever you're looking at, if you go over and look at the daily chart, it's kind of like if you're watching these things where they pull like 20% back into the previous candle, or the 30% back in the previous candle, and then we sell off. Similar to like what I do with the 5-minute candle sometimes. But yeah, that's usually what we're looking for. I need to sit down with you, Christy, so you can go over that and look for that particular setup in the morning. Like I said, it repeats at least 3 times a week. I mean, if you can get 3 good trades a week, I mean, and make $100 to $200 a day, it'd be straight. Then if you're copy trading, so that's why I'm copy trading, because I'm trying to copy 3. I mean, that's how much I believe in that trade. Looking for that particular setup is I'm copy trading 3 or 4 funded accounts doing it. So it's just a day. Unfortunately, it did happen today, but like I said, the candle was just ugly. So this is what we were looking at today when this move happened. So this is what I didn't like about it. I hated all this consolidation after our 15-minute printed. So I want to say it was about right here, somewhere around here is where that candle was up to. But see, then after it pushed up, it pulled back. It was just one big 5-minute wick candle with no body. So it was so hard to take this because of the way that body of that candle looked. And I don't know. I've gotten burned on so many times, not a lot of times, but you know, just you got burned just trading off these big wick candles. And so I hesitated and I didn't get the pullback because we got outside the 15 minutes. We pushed up, but it happened all in one candle. And that's what made it tough. Then look, you got the pullback. This is the candle here. You got the pullback to almost the 70% back into your 15-minute range. Now, this is the 15-minute candle from 9 o'clock to 9:15. The very first 15-minute candle of the hour. But like I said, it was tough. So after I missed it, I knew that we weren't going to get our funded trade today. All right, guys. Thank you guys for watching. Just wanted to point out what I'm looking for whenever I take my funded trades in the morning. If you're going to try to trade off of that, I would recommend just doing a eval first. And that way you can get used to just seeing it if that's just something you want to try. Just remember, it's early morning, so it's super volatility. So you have what you have to consider, your stop loss has to be at the low. So just remember, your stop loss has to be wherever so that probably would have been your low, or this would have been your low right here. Actually, this would have been your new low, because look, low there, push up, pull back. So this would have been your new low. So your stop loss would have to go here. So if you waited to get long, say at 75, you would have had at least about a 25-point stop loss. But if you're trading a few micros, it's not that bad. 25 points, I think, is what, $90, I think. 80 points is $80. So 2 micros. So Just remember that whenever you're trading off the fib, that your stop loss has to go at the previous low candle wherever you pull it. So you want to pull it from your high to your low. So that's where your stop loss has to go whenever you're buying back into discount. So this would be your discount buy because you got the push up, you're buying back in discount and looking for to move up. So just if you plan on trying it, but there's tons of Fibonacci videos out there for, you know, and they probably explain it a lot better than I do. They probably go into a lot more specifics and details. Thank you for the follow, Roland. All right, guys, everyone have a good one. And we will be back for the Tokyo market tonight at 8 o'clock. Hopefully it's not like watching paint dry tonight, guys, because the last 2 nights have been like watching paint dry. It's been horrible. Thank you. I have to go through all